Good evening and welcome to the fourth annual Brave in the Attempt Talks presented by our First Lady of Maryland, Mrs. Yumi Hogan. Tonight celebrates 5 extraordinary individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities who will share a message of vision. We are proud to partner with the Department of Disabilities and Maryland Developmental Disabilities Administration. I want to point to my thank you sign here. I want to thank Secretary Beatty, Carol Beatty, who's the Secretary of the Department of Disabilities. I also want to thank Bernard Simons, Deputy Secretary for Developmental Disabilities Administration, for their unwavering support of this event and all individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. I'm certainly disappointed, as I know you all are, that we aren't able to do this in person at Towson University, but I look forward to returning to Towson next year to kick off Summer Games Week with these Brave in the Attempt Talks. To help set the stage for tonight's speakers, I would like to introduce First Lady of Maryland, Mrs. Yumi Hogan, who has been so instrumental and supportive in helping us present these talks.
I am Yumi Hogan, First Lady of Maryland. I wish we could be together in person tonight, but on the bright side, no traffic to fight to get here. I would like to thank President Jim of Special Olympics Maryland, Secretary Beatty of the Maryland Department of Disabilities, along with the Developmental Disabilities Administration for all that you do. I am so proud of this year's speakers for sharing their stories. Your compelling and inspirational talks will help others see how they can create their vision for their own lives. Thank you for the sharing with us. Each of us must continue to be brave as we pursue our dreams. I wish you all the best as you continue to your journey. Stay safe and healthy. I miss you all. We see you soon. Thank you.
On behalf of our 8,716 Special Olympics Maryland athletes, thank you, Mrs. Hogan. This year marks the 50th anniversary of our Summer Games and the founding of Special Olympics Maryland, so it's appropriate that our theme is vision. Our founder, Eunice Kennedy Shriver, was a visionary leader who I know would be so proud to know that you are carrying on the legacy of showing the world that you deserve every opportunity afforded to you, that you have earned the right to speak in front of any audience, anytime, anywhere. Tonight, you are the stars, and Maryland is watching you. I'm looking at this participant list, and we have 136 people on here. How cool is that? It's unbelievable. You guys are awesome. So tonight, we will remember you for your courage to show us all the power of your voice and your commitment to your vision. Tonight, new legends are born. You are the heroes of that legend. Now it gives me great pleasure to introduce our MC for these Brave in the Attempt Talks, my friend who is an extraordinary human being and a Special Olympics Maryland athlete, Mr. Adam Hayes.
Thank you so much, Jim. Okay, and now let's get on with our speakers and their vision for the future. To kick off tonight's event is Rusty Buchanan. Rusty is a 38-year-old athlete from Cockeysville, representing Baltimore County. Rusty loves to participate in skiing, kayaking, golf, and soccer. Rusty owns his own lawn service business where he has many customers that he takes care of year-round. He will give your lawn a complete makeover, rake leaves in the fall, and remove snow in the winter. Rusty is an adrenaline junkie and has quite a broad group of hobbies. He loves roller coasters, WWE wrestling,
I was just bringing it down.
Ski resorts, and watching NASCAR. He would love to one day have the experience of being out on a NASCAR track as well as go skydiving. He also hosts a potluck picnic for his neighborhood every summer that ends with his very own fireworks show. That's awesome. On the calmer side, he loves spending time at home with his cats and likes to meet new people and share the word of the gospel. One of his favorite movies is a baseball classic, The Sandlot. You're killing me, Smalls. Rusty believes that sometimes the bad things in our lives put us directly on the path to the best things that will happen to us. Rusty, this is so true. One should never overlook or dismiss things that happen to us because of the positive outcome that could occur. Now, here he is to mow us down with his amazing presentation, Mr. Rusty Buchanan.
Thank you, Adam. Hi, my name is Rusty Buchanan. In 1999, I attempted suicide by drinking gasoline. There were several things that made me feel this desperate. My dad passed away. This caused major depression, which required a change in schools. The future was so uncertain. My intellectual disability played a part in not understanding this difficult time. But as you can see, I survived, and I'm here tonight with you. Thanks to Dad and Mom for that. Dad passed away March the 31st, 1997, after a 4-month battle with cancer. It was fast, and I did not understand why this had happened. I just turned 16 on March the 22nd. I was very confused, desperate, and angry my dad was gone. When Dad died, I lost my partner and coach, and I did not have the opportunities to do sports I like anymore. Dad and I were very close. He taught me a lot about life, how to play, how to ski and play golf. I started skiing at age 10 when my dad took me to Whitetail in 1991. This was Whitetail's opening season. My pastors-in-law, Alice Lee Bean, suggested I look into joining Special Olympics. The first sports I joined was skiing the winter of 2016. I enjoyed a great season. The winter games were held at Whitetail and I won a gold medal. I was so happy and proud and felt Dad was right there with me. It was like a full circle from learning how to ski in 1991 to 2016, winning a medal. So Special Olympics has given me the opportunity to enjoy sports again with many new friends. I was attending Towson High School, but I had to transfer to Waco. Waco is a residential school for adolescents with intellectual and physiological problems. There was staff there 24/7 for assistance. I was approaching graduation and had the pressure of my grades, finding housing and job after graduation. The problem here was Riker did not have a transition plan for residential student in aging out of their program at age 18. So on a weekend visit at home with mom, I did not want to go back to Riker. So I drank gasoline to escape these pressures. God, mom, friends, and therapy gave me words of encouragement to carry me through. Through seriously about attempting suicide dropped from 29% in 1991 to 17% in 2017. In 18 years, the rate dropped 12%. This is a great improvement. Suicide is never the answer. You need to reach out for help. To find someone to talk to, either a friend or professional. Life can give you some very difficult blows, but it's still a life living worth living. To help improve these numbers even more, I believe the school systems need more psychiatrists, counselors, and staff that are trained to recognize strange and unusual behaviors in their students. I believe this could cut down on school bullying, violence, and shootings. In the past, the shooters usually had a history of being bullied, emotional, or just accepted. So the while the student is struggling the with these feelings and anger is bullying, the school system doesn't notice or have the time to adequately monitor the situation. Psychiatrists, teachers, and staff need training to be more observant to deter, stop these situations from happening. I was in special education from preschool through high school, yet I didn't know I could be a part of Special Olympics until 34 years old. At, at the time, the school system promoted county recreation council activities for softball, football, soccer, etc., but not Special Olympics. ID students need and want the same opportunity as everyone else. It will be helpful to eligible students were introduced to Special Olympics opportunities at age 8 or as early as possible. You in Kennedy Schreiber, the founder of Special Olympics, believe that if people with intellectual disabilities were given the same opportunities and experiences as everyone else, they could accomplish far more than anyone ever thought possible. and through that and through the sports they can realize their potential and growth. Yes, Special Olympics is all about competition, but the organization also builds character, self-esteem, confidence, friendships, and leadership. I made many friends and athletes, parents, and coaches. First of all, I met my girlfriend, Erica Wheel, in Special Olympics, and we've been dating for 3 years. We shouldn't accept things as is, but rather take actions. Things to do: contact local county representative, contact school board, contact special education administrators, advocate for everyone experiencing intellectual disabilities, educate community of opportunities with the Special Olympics program, like the leadership program, the unified sports programs like golf, rings, and athlete partnerships with family, friends, or interested community and visitors. So the goal is to build better communities, transform lives. We feel the champion in all of us. Vision, be the best that I can be. In other words, Special Olympics oath, let me win, but if I cannot win, let me be brave and attend. Thank you for this opportunity. I'm so grateful to be here with you tonight. God bless of each of you.
Thank you, Rusty. Now, uh, up next is Hannah Alexi. Hannah is 22 years old and lives in Westminster. Hannah was born in Rockford, Illinois, and moved here when she was only 1 year old. Hannah loves participating in horseback riding, bocce, cornhole, and swimming, but not all at the same time. Although that would be an amazing thing to watch. She can do a mean butterfly stroke and would love to be a head coach and teach swimming one day. Hannah also loves being an entertainer. She has been the master of ceremonies for some of her church events, and she is always prepared to make you laugh with a riddle or a joke. Some of this probably stems from the fact that she loves watching such classics as I Love Lucy, The Office, and The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. During a trip to New York City to watch a taping of The Tonight Show, Hannah was excited to have Jimmy Fallon give her a high five. Who knows? Maybe Hannah will be the first woman to be the permanent host of The Tonight Show in the future. Hannah's motto is do your best and forget the rest. Well, Hannah, when you are rich and famous, we hope you don't forget us. Now, here she is, the charming Hannah Alexi.
My journey with Turner syndrome. I am not funny, what I am is brave. This is one of my favorite quotes from my favorite comedian, Lucille Ball, when describing her legacy. She said, "I am not funny, what I am is brave." This is one of my favorite quotes from my favorite comedian, Lucille Ball, when describing her legacy. Lucille Ball, Hi, my name is Hannah Lexi, and I live in Westminster, Maryland. I am 22 years old. I am here to share my story of dealing with a birth condition called Turner syndrome and how I have dealt with this disability and how I continue to try to overcome it. Turner syndrome is a chromosome disorder which occurs in 1 out of 3,000 girls. Typically, this condition demonstrates an abnormality in construction of the 23rd pair of chromosomes. This affects everyone differently. Some girls have physical characteristics, others, like myself, just have a learning disability. Typical symptoms of Turner syndrome are heart defects. I had a corrugation of the aorta, which is like a kink in the hose that feeds your heart blood. They had to unkink it and reattach it when I was 5 months old. In terms of school, I switched elementary schools 3 times because of the special education programs didn't have the capabilities that the final magnet school had. By the time I got into middle school, my Turner syndrome had been diagnosed. So we had more direction with the different educational support teams. Then I entered high school. I was in their special education program. As a sophomore, I switched to LFI, which means Learning for Independence. I graduated with a certificate of completion, and I got to do corollary sports, such as bowling, bocce ball, and cornhole. I was the field hockey manager for 1 year. I also got these 2 awards, Standing Manager Award, which is awarded for making the most of my potential and challenges while attending Westminster High. I also received the Angela Saxton Appreciation Award for going above and beyond my capabilities. Then I moved on to post-secondary for the next 2 years, which I graduated in 2019 while working in Carroll Hospital and volunteering as a hostess aide. After post-secondary, I explored many different adult agencies. I chose Bell and McCree because their goals seemed to fit with mine. For example, just like when you go to college, Bell and McCree gives you an opportunity to explore many different careers and possibilities. Just like a college freshman, I had no idea what my career path is. Just because I have a disability, I want to be able to figure out what would make my heart happy. I chose Bell and McCree because I love the people in the family I got to know. Which brings me to my vision, my subject to my presentation. I don't know what my future holds, but I know I'm in a place, Bell and McCree, that will help me realize my path. Only 44% of adults with intellectual disabilities, aged 21 through 64, are in the labor force. This compared to 83% of working age adults without disabilities who are in the labor force. I do not want to be in a non-working statistic. Even though I have a learning disability, I want to have a chance to have a career, not just a job. I don't think it is fair just because I have an intellectual disability that I should be pigeonholed into a dead-end job. I am not quite sure what career I will have, but it will include people. I love people. How do I make a difference with people who are challenged? By me trying to use my positive outlook to help others realize their unique talents and gifts. I think my positive outlook could possibly point me in the direction of working with others that have disabilities. I have not explored this career yet, but I think it might be something I would like to look into. I believe we have been blessed with new talents, and I would hope to help others see their potential. Where do I see myself? I am not sure, but I know my faith and positive outlook on life will help me make a difference in other people's lives. I am strong, I am positive, and I know I will make this world better. I will leave you today with a reference from one of my other favorite comedians, Carol Burnett. I'm so glad we had this time together just to have a laugh or sing a song. It seems we just get started, and before you know, we have to say so long. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hannah. Derek Hamburg is 28 years old and is a Special Olympics athlete from Westminster. Derek loves to play softball and basketball, and has accomplished a feat that is not easy. He has successfully made several baskets from the half-court line, which would make many NBA teams take a good look at him when it comes time to toss up a buzzer beater. Derek was adopted by his parents from Russia at an early age and loved spending time with his pit bull, Stewie, who he, in turn, adopted when Stewie was 3 years old. Derek aspires to do play-by-play announcing and got his start in his sophomore year of high school by doing the announcing for the Winters Mill girls basketball team. Derek is also a member of both Toastmasters and the Kiwanis Club. He has had the opportunity to speak to 1,200 Key Clubbers, which is the high school affiliate of the Kiwanis Club International. His motto in life is don't let your disability stop you from things you like doing or have a passion for. Everyone, help me welcome to the program, Derek Hamburg.
Vision. George F. Will of the Washington Post said, "Sports serve society by providing vivid examples of excellence, but what if you can't find the example?" I started playing soccer for a rec league in Carroll County Middle School. The first year I played for a team called the Kickers. Then the other 2 years I played for a team called the Vipers. Even before I played sports and got involved with high school sports, mainstream sports, I didn't see very many people that were like me. They didn't look like me. They didn't sound like me. I liked sports from a young age, but never would have imagined being a part of mainstream sports. My first opportunity came my freshman year when I managed the boys' junior varsity soccer team at Winters Mill High School. I kept stats for the team, keeping track of goals, saves, and assists for both home and away games. A total of 70 games total. When I started managing the team, that's when I got more involved, more interested in sports stats. I like doing sports stats because I like to challenge myself. Stats help tell me more about a team or a player. They help me paint a picture only with numbers. I discovered that I have great knowledge and memory for sports stats. I can also remember who scored the goal and who had the assist. I've also heard that there are a lot of people with disabilities that have wanted to manage their local sports teams in high school, and I feel lucky that I got to do that as well in high school. I also never envisioned how popular it could get. When I managed this team, I formed a great bond with the coaches and players. They really made me feel like a part of the team. The school awarded me a varsity membership jacket my freshman year for being their #1 sports fan. As the year went on, I imagined myself getting more involved in sports. Today, my dream job is to become a sports broadcaster. Another person who didn't see someone like herself involved in sports is Katie Sowers. She went on to become the first woman coach in NFL history to coach at a Super Bowl with the San Francisco 49ers. Katie is also listed as one of the 100 influential women in sports by Sport 360. In 2019, she won the Rising Star Award from the Power Sports branch. Another inspiration is a person from Maryland with a disability. RJ Nealon completed an internship with ESPN, and he is a graduate of the University of Alabama with a degree in sports journalism. He just completed a 10-week internship at ESPN in the program department, handling all Twitter activity. RJ continues to be a strong self-advocate for individuals with disabilities with the ARC. And fun fact is now that he is currently working for Special Olympics International. My vision is it's a world where everyone can see themselves in the sports world or in the field that you guys would like to do. Whether you have a disability, a woman, or a different race, you should be able to find someone that looks like you. Your disability, gender, or race shouldn't outweigh your passion and love for sports or you feel that you want to do. I'd like to send a challenge to Maryland news stations and papers to have people with disabilities represented in the sportscasting and covering local sports teams. My passion is sports, but no matter what your passion is, I want to encourage you to fight to create opportunities for people like you in the sports world or whatever you want to do. If you won't, then who will?
Thank you, Derek. Coming to us next from Denton on the Eastern Shore is Abby Gibbons. Abby is a 22-year-old Special Olympics Maryland athlete who participates in golf, basketball, swimming, and kayaking. And her unified kayaking partner is her dad. She loves spending time at the library and loves everything Disney, especially Princess Belle. She has been to Disney World and likes to ride Space Mountain, as well as many other roller coasters. Abby likes to cook and bake cookies. Chocolate chip are her favorite. She would love to become a chef one day. Abby has also had the proud privilege of being the 2015 homecoming queen and 2016 prom queen at North Carolina High School. She later walked across the stage with the rest of her class at graduation in 2016. A photo of her at age 4 performing at a dance recital was part of the National Down Syndrome Society annual Buddy Walk slideshow that was displayed on the Times Square Jumbotron screens in New York City. Now, how awesome is that? Her favorite quote comes from the Broadway show Wicked. Everyone deserves a chance to fly. So here she is with her very own opportunity to fly is Abby Gibbons.
Thank you.
We need the slideshow. It won't let me share. Oh, there we go.
Hold on. Okay. All right. Good evening, everyone. I'm Abby Gibbons, and there's something you need to know. Only 4 out of 10 working age adults with disabilities are employed. I do not understand why 6 out of 10 people with disabilities do not have jobs. This works for people with intellectual disability or ID like me. Only about 2 out of 10 people with ID have a job. This is wrong. This needs to change. My vision is this will change. We can do it. We can learn how to do that job. We can help your business. We are able. I brought some friends with me today, and I wanted to tell you about them. They are on here online. This is Christine. She has a part-time paid job at Headwaters Seafood and Grill in Eastern Maryland. Say hello to Christine, everyone. Look at what the chat said about Christine. Jeff Donald said Christine is going to try new texts and takes a lot of part in her work. She says table and works in the kitchen with that Jeff. She has one to use deep fryer. Isn't that cool? And now for my homecoming king Todd. This is Todd. He works a paid part-time job at Walmart in Dan, Maryland. Say hi to Todd. Todd's co-worker said Todd is invisible. This is nice comment because Todd isn't hiding from his work. He is always out for doing his work. He is a great worker. Kelsey had worked at the North Carolina High School in Ridgeway for 17 years. Welcome, Kelsey. Kelsey is preparing food for the high school kids in this picture. Kelsey is pointing to her coworkers. Kelsey also has volunteer jobs. She is great at what she does. They say Caroline Nursing Home needs Kelsey because she works very hard. And this is Hannah. Hello, Hannah. She moved here from Illinois. She has been here 2 years and has tried to get a job, but has not able to find one yet. In Illinois, she worked at a dentist's office and her boss and coworkers left her. She did many jobs and was a favorite part of the team. She wrote letters to the patients. Wasn't that kind? The dentist said Hannah should have employers fighting over her. She is the one of the hardest working team member I have ever employed. So these employers understand that workers with ID can do well. They did not drag company down. They knew that workers with ID can do a great job. Research says that hiring of people with ID is good for business. It is not always easy to hire people with disabilities, but there are rewards. It doesn't make the business lose money. We can work on time. We work as a team. We do not quit. We come to work every day. The things that employers might need to make are usually cheap and not offensive. Do you agree? I thought so. So here is my story. I am 22 years old. I went to North Carolina High School, and I walked with my classroom class students at 16 when I went to Training Center. And my teacher, Key Birmingham, helped teach me job skills. My dad got me internship at Bullock's Deli in Dan, Maryland. Bullock's Deli is a great place. It has a restaurant, a swimming pool, and store all in one place. Miss Michelle and Miss Debbie and all my coworkers are super nice. The Training Center gave me my job coach, and she helped me learn my job. One day, Bullock decided to hire me as a part-time employee. I didn't need a job coach anymore. When I graduated from the Training Center, I started with the Arc of Maryland the next September. I meet Tom, Val, Valerie, and John. Tom takes me to work and picks me up at work. I have a personal support mentor named Deanna. We have so much fun together. We go shopping. I also volunteer at Phillipsburg Elementary School 1 day a week and help kids My former teacher, Christine Bennett, knew I will be a great teacher, and she had me teach kids reading, spelling, and math. She believes in me. With my support, I am useful what I do and have no interest too. I'm an athlete leader with Special Olympics Maryland. I love basketball. I also swimming, kayaking, and golf. My teams at Aberdeen I just started with the Wisdom Express dance group too. I love Disney movies, traveling, and my friends and family. Hi, family. Hi, Becca. I like to bake, and someday I hope to work in a bakery and make yummy treats. So my call to action for you is, if you have a business, please consider hiring a person with ID. It may not be easy, but it will pay off for you. You will have a employee how to come to work hard, and tell you about it. It will change your life. It will change their life. If you are flexible, you will have brand new worker. If you are a person with ID like me, we need to help the employer to understand that we can do the job and how we can do it. I would like to end with a quote from an actor, Chris Book. It is not our disability, but our ability that count. Thank you for listening and being here tonight. And thank you.
Thank you, Abby. To close out our program for the evening is Sam Livingston. Sam is a 27-year-old athlete from Baltimore County. Sam currently participates in softball, basketball, and bowling for Special Olympics Maryland. Sam is a huge foodie. He loves watching cooking shows, going out to restaurants, and creating his own restaurant reviews. Maybe we can get Abby to send Sam some of her chocolate chip cookies, and we can get a review of them next year. Sam was part of a dance team when in high school, and he has continued to dance by picking up breakdancing as a hobby. He has also been known to do the worm from time to time. I tried doing the worm once, and it turned into a breakdance for me. I broke a coffee table and a lamp in my living room, and I have some proof for that. Some of Sam's other hobbies are learning about technology, robots, and anime. He likes to meet the actors who voice those characters while attending comic book conventions. His dream is to one day be employed at a big company, and to help keep him on track to do so, his favorite quote is, "The only disability in life is a bad attitude." So everyone, please welcome a man with a great attitude and a dream for the future, Mr. Sam Livingston.
Hi, everybody. My name is Sam Livingston, and I'm here to talk to you about my vision for a world without inequality for people with disabilities. In 1913, my great-grandfather, Sigmund Livingston, founded an organization known as the Anti-Defamation League, or ADL for short, to combat anti-Semitism and fight against all hatred and bigotry. During the 30 years since he had immigrated to the US from Germany, he observed the Jewish community facing rampant anti-Semitism and overt discrimination. Books, plays, and above all, newspapers depicted Jews with crude stereotypes. He founded the organization with a clear understanding that the fight against one form of prejudice cannot be succeeded without battling prejudice in all forms. Today, ADL's mission is to stop the defamation of the Jewish people and secure justice for all people, irrespective of religion, color, national origin, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, or ability. Now I know that there's still a lot of hatred towards many types of people today. I want you all to imagine a world without hatred. Every day I dream about a world where we can all live in peace and be allowed to work anywhere and do anything we want to do. Now, in the past 10 years, I've noticed much discrimination towards people with disabilities in different work environments. From the local grocery stores to the malls where I shop, I haven't noticed many people with disabilities working there. However, I know, like many of you here, that many disabilities aren't visible. I used to work at a grocery store where they employ many different individuals with different disabilities like myself. When I worked there, I said to myself many times that there are many people in the world with disabilities who can do just as well, or if not better, than the vendors or the employees that work here. For example, based on a national survey commissioned by Special Olympics, unemployment among people with intellectual disabilities is more than twice as high as for the general population. Now, before COVID-19, 21% of working age adults with intellectual disabilities are unemployed. This is compared to less than 8% of adults without disabilities. I believe it's time to take a stand and make sure that we get noticed and do not get put down in interviews for jobs just because we have a disability. I want you all to think hard about what you would do if someone was disliking you because of your disability. I've been picked on plenty of times due to my autism. What I usually do when they do that is I ignore them. And if they keep at it, I usually just shut them off in my head. I know it's hard, but it's 100% worth it, trust me. Okay, now for the fun part. I'd like you all to close your eyes. Now imagine a world without hatred and discrimination against people of all types of disabilities. For example, imagine going to a movie and seeing people with disability playing different characters. Or imagine turning on the news and seeing somebody with a disability behind the microphone. Or when we vote in the next election, imagine we have someone that is running who happens to have a disability. Or during a sporting event, one of the coaches has a disability as well. It's beautiful, isn't it? Like I said before, every day I dream about a world without hatred. To help create a world without hatred or discrimination, I would correct a person who uses words or language that is hurtful and offensive to myself and others. I will continue to participate in rallies and community task force to help bring awareness to the difficulties and inequalities facing individuals with disabilities. Now, I'd like to finish my speech off with a part of a song by John Lennon called Imagine. Some people may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I wish someday you will join us and the world will live as one. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam. Let's give a big virtual round of applause to this year's Brave in the Attempt Talks presenters. We would also like to express our thanks again to the Maryland Department of Disabilities, the Maryland Developmental Disabilities Administration, and the First Lady of Maryland for their continued support of this great program. Sadly, we may not have been able to be with you live this year, but as you can see, nothing is going to stop Special Olympics Maryland from sharing the visions of our amazing athletes and those with intellectual and developmental disabilities. This brings us full circle. Like our first presenter, Rusty Buchanan, believes, sometimes bad things that happen in our lives put us directly on the path to things that will help us to find new ways to make our lives better. We have learned this year that by using virtual technology, we can continue to bring the message of hope and vision of Special Olympics and all of its athletes, not only to our communities, but to the rest of the world, no matter what gets in our way. Help us to keep spreading that message, and we will see you at Towson University next year. Thank you and have a great evening.